Okay, we pause this for a minute. Let me go change real quick. I forgot I still got my night shirt on. I'm gonna change it to my new shirt. Not a new shirt, just a clean shirt. Whatever shirt. And we'll get this started. Okay. All right, had to put on a fresh shirt. I forgot that's my night shirt. Anyway, first things first. My name is Kenneth. I'm the creator of Supreme Ambient Light Rejection Screen Paint. Using ambient light rejection technology again. After I'm done this video, when I start pushing out tracking numbers, I'm already going to be upstairs today, so I'm not going to be downstairs too much today. Because usually on ship out days, pretty much I'm just processing orders, just getting tracking numbers and all that stuff ready for today. I think later on today I'll be downstairs, probably early in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll be up processing the orders, getting ready with the containers and all that good stuff. All right, so we're talking about fake ambient light rejection technology, which is some of the stuff I've seen in some demonstrations. Some screen paints and projection screens claim it not to be ambient light rejection, and others basically using their ambient light rejection technology and what do you call ambient light controlled environments. Now, I told you, as you can see in my environments, my curtains actually push in a lot of ambient light. And being up in the morning, keep in mind this area gets really, really bright. Now, for those of you that are questioning the projector that I'm using in the demonstration, which is a Christie 505 projector, I will be posting links below of the screen paint being tested on projectors much, much lower than the 5,000 lumen Christie projector I have behind me. All right, because usually when I watch these demonstrations on projection screens or screen paints, they start right from the door with the high-end projectors. We like to start with the low-end stuff first, like the 800, 900, 1,000 lumen projectors, before we start moving up to projectors of 4,000 and 5,000 lumens. That technology or screen paint we develop has to be to pass the low lumen test first. Because like I said, when you have companies out there or people make their own product, they'll start off with the high-end big boy projectors first. Later on, they may do a little couple of demonstrations, and more mixes do a couple of demonstrations on smaller, lower lumen projectors, just to prove something. But we start from the door with those low lumen projectors first. And with bigger companies, they start from the door with the big boy projectors only. So bottom line is, with them, your screen has to work with those particular projectors. With our stuff, you don't have to worry about that. So let's get this started, because I have a lot to do today. I think I'm gonna bring it back this way, so that way I can get the window light and I can get the screen at the same time. All right, so I'll bring it back a little bit and we'll begin. Put them in there. Here we go. right, we got plenty of time to play around. So I'll let that run. I'll be back. Booyah. So my projector and screen sit back the full length of the room. Good morning. Let's see if I step back here. Show you. It's bumping into the wall. That's how far my projector sits back, full length of the room. There's my screen right here is angle gain. Right next to two open windows. Yep. Love what I do. They had decided to play around on the big screen upstairs because I don't do too many demonstrations up here. And that's why I like the fact that I can swap out my environments if I choose to. I think this area is much brighter than any place in the house, besides the screen that sits embedded in the windows. A lot of light pushes on that screen. So I can sit here right in the hallway if I want, and I can see my screen right from here with no problem. Which it should be. Of course the doorway's gonna be there, but yeah. Actually, it wasn't the controller's problem. It's something faulty with the console. So I ordered a new one. That's all. I'll do that demonstration later on, but not today because I have ship out to do today. So getting this out of the way for now, and then I'm gonna disappear for a while because I have tracking numbers and orders to complete today. All our products came in yesterday, so we're good to go. Okay, let me see. Where did I just? Oh, here it is, right here. There we go. I'm just trying to put a little bit of everything in there. Let's put this in here real quick. I don't want home videos, I want actual footage. So we can find something else on here. Nah, they don't want to write too much. This is what I'm talking about. When you watch demonstrations in fully lit environments, the screen is supposed to be corner to corner to corner. It should not fade, shouldn't wash out, corner to corner, corner. Like I said, I've seen demonstrations because you can see the screen in a fully lit environment. They consider that to be passable. That is not passable at all, period. You should be to see, there should be nothing faded on that screen from corner to corner. This is what you should be looking for. When I look at screens and I watch them in ambient light projection and environments, I look at the corners in the environment to see how bright the environment is. If those areas back there are dark or shadowy, I can tell that they're using ambient light, some kind of ambient light controlled environment. Now keep in mind, this screen, actually one of them sits outside and on my deck at 135 inches. So I have black screens that sit outside and they produce images. So this kind of environment is really easy for the technology. And as I said before, I'm gonna have a few people are gonna say, well, you're using a 5,000 lumen Chrissy. Well, I'll go back in and I'll dig up some of the demonstrations that we did when we were testing out this technology. 1000 lumens, 800 lumens, 900 lumen projectors outside, and I'll post those links below so you can check them out for yourself. Those of you who saw the demonstrations, you already know what the technology has been through when it comes to testing. Some people coming in for the first time don't realize that this stuff has been tested on much lower lumen projectors in order to reach this stage to be hit with the 5000 lumen projector. So as I said before, with companies that are setting up like a showcase area for their screens, it's an all controlled environment. They control where the lighting's going to be at. They control the scenery, everything. They control how powerful the projector is going to be. They're not going to do that demonstration in 720p. They're not going to do it in 1000 lumens. It's just not going to happen. They're going to come with a high big boy projector and start the demonstration. Boom, right from the door from there. If you have been testing your screens on a white surface, which a lot of these big companies do, then there isn't really any challenge at all whatsoever. And then keep in mind, right from the door, you're using a high powered projector against the white screen. That's an easy win. There's no challenge there. So with our great technology, keep in mind this is black, with our great technology, we test ours on low entry level projectors, and we don't test ours based on a white screen. We test ours based on other high performance gray screens, if they were going down in category to do that. There's a company that I'm very interested in getting a hold of one of their screens. It's called XY over in China. Sorry about that. I've seen a couple of their demonstrations where they showed the white wall and they showed their screen when it comes to contrast, but I really haven't seen any real ambient light projection tests, which means I would like to take that sample outside. And some of you feel, what is the point of doing demonstrations outside when you test ambient light? Because that's the best environment to work in. Why not? Shut the window. We're doing maintenance on the golf course. You're going to be hearing a lot of motors moving back and forth. But that's the best place to test your technology, is outside. Because like I said, if it passes out there, then inside here it's an easy. So when I do my demonstrations, I have to build up to using the big boy projectors. You got to start off with the low ones first. And it's great. And as we gradually build up, we start building up to the bigger projectors. So we don't start off with a big boy projector. And then later on, we just to prove a point, we put in a small projector. No, we don't do that. There's no point. Let me see what else we got here. I want to do some. I found this channel. I thought it was real nice what they had on here. I'm looking for some. I'm gonna do some heavy contrast. Actually, come out here real quick. Let's bring up. Look at this real quick. This is my personal favorite. You know how much I love the star field demonstration. I love this because it tells whether or not that screen can pull that black contrast level. You may get a commercial pop up. Yep. Make sure it's not what I think it is. All right, that's good. That worked. All right, so that's the star field demonstration, which means if your screen is pulling a contrast level, it should be able to pull that up with that black level with no problem. Now, this is why I like to do the test on the high end. I don't like to do the test on screen paint mixes because there's no point in it. I like to do demonstrations against certified screens to see how I stack up against a $5,000 projection screen versus a screen that would cost you. Now keep in mind, $5,000 for a projection screen for a 100-inch. That's it. This is a 135-inch screen. And 2 quarts of this will paint a screen size up to 150 inches. So keep in mind, if I had this screen in my environment at 135 inches and I'm using a Christie at 5,000 lumens, 1920 by 1200 WXGA, this is what I would pick up on that screen. On the Paxel, if I'm saying it right, with an 0.8 gain or 0.08 gain, something like that. I'll look at the backup again. But that's what you would pick up. And then we have the Gray Cinema 5D. So I watch these demonstrations. Usually, like I said, when I see a lot of these demonstrations, usually they'll stick with bright screen paints that can't produce contrast, are really bad with ambient light rejection technology. They will basically stick to very bright colors, because bright colors will fade less. Ooh, that makes me dizzy. That makes me dizzy just sitting right up on top of that screen. Makes me dizzy. But they'll stick with screens with really bright colors. Bright colors has a better chance of producing images in a fully lit environment than contrast. Contrast, that screen can't pull it. It's not going to be able to pull it. It's going to show its true flaws. That's why I notice that when I watch, and not just one person, there's more than one people that make mixes out there. When I watch those demonstrations, they'll show a lot of bright, vivid colors, because those colors basically will perform much better in a well-lit environment, where they won't show heavy contrast demonstrations, because any black heavy contrast demonstration, the screen is automatically going to flaw. The only way they can do a contrast demonstration, much like Starfield, they have to be in a dark environment. They can't do it with this kind of lighting environment. The screen just it's not going to hold up too well. So that's one of the things you got to look for when you're looking at these demonstrations. Oh, good, because I'm going to put my trash out. I've gotten so used to basically just talking into a controller now, and now I'm using back to this right here now. Well, you can talk into these too. Now, like I said, it's a straight color pattern. I can show you a whole bunch of colors all mixed together and camouflage it, or I can just show you a straight color pattern of what your projector is actually really seeing when it hits your screen. So if you think you're really seeing blues and greens and yellows and oranges and all that, this is what your projector actually sees when it hits the screen. That's why these particular screens, or any form of other screens of this complexion, have to be done in dark environments, because that's the only fighting chance they have. Keep in mind, the projector I'm using is 5,000 lumens. So it's no toy. So just because you have a projector of a higher caliber of lumens, that's not going to do anything for you when it comes to contrast. I can bring a projector up here that'll have 16,000 to 1. That doesn't make a difference. If the screen can't pull the contrast, that contrast ratio you have on your projector is useless. It is. I have people talking about, I got 1,000,000 to 1. It doesn't make a difference. It's like trying to squeeze water out of a stone. Go out in your backyard, grab a stone, squeeze as hard as you can, try to get water out of it. Same equivalence if you're trying to get black levels to produce the same black levels on a black screen to come out to be to produce on a gray screen. That's like saying, well, you can get a black screen to produce white levels as high as a white screen. That's not going to happen. Even I can admit that. That'll never happen. So I think the Gray Cinema 5D is around $1,400 for a 100-inch. And I can just go out and buy myself a cheap $187 screen, which I paid for this one about $187, $185, and coated with my technology, which if I was a customer, it would have cost me $187, and voila. That's a whole lot cheaper than $1,500 or $5,000. And mind you, this is a 135, not a 100-inch. So I'm pretty sure if a 100-inch is going to cost you $5,000 to $1,400 to $1,500, what do you think 135 is going to cost you? And then you have to figure out whether or not if it's ultra short throw compatible, because some of this technology up here is not ultra short throw compatible, which means now you got to go out and you got to buy a separate screen that may be able to would be compatible with ultra short throw, which means it's going to cost you more money. It's not going to be cheaper. It's going to cost you more money. Let's bring in, let's see, OLEDs, any OLEDs. I like to do the OLED demonstrations on here. And we'll go back to the brighter colors. Let's pull some brighter colors out. Now they do pull higher white levels. I'll give you that much. Let me go back over here so I can find that and that channel I liked. There we go. Oh, had it right here. Not bad, people. Figure out the ones with the birds. There we go. The bird. The bird is the word. Now you see right there where I showed you them straight colors? That's the reason why I showed you them straight colors first. See how faded that red looks right there in that corner of that screen? Look how faded the greens look? That's why I show you the colors first. I show you the blues, the greens, the red, so you can see what the projector is actually picking up. And this is what your projector actually sees when it sees red. You're not getting a brighter image, you're getting a washed out image. Right there, right there. For those, someone was asking me what the game I was playing with the zombies, it's called World War Z. I think they have it. It's an older game. I think it came out in, I think it came out in 2019, I'm pretty sure. It's still online. People are still playing it online. But if you're interested, you can go over to the PlayStation store and pick it up from there. There you go. But yeah, you can go pick it up from there from the PlayStation Store. And it's around, and all the DLCs are cheap. Oh, this is coming down anyway. The DLC I think is like $14. $14 for the DLC. Yeah, when you start making noises when you pick stuff up, that's how you know it's your time. You're getting older. But anyway, yeah, the DLC is cheap. It's like 14 bucks. I'm actually going to get that add-on because I beat the game already. To the gray screens are not going to pick that contrast level up. I love it when I get people that are coming and say, well, it looks too dark. No, this is the way it's supposed to look because this is hitting 100% contrast level. The reason why it looks light on your end because you're not pulling contrast. You're pulling shades of gray. So you're not looking at, you're not seeing what you're supposed to be getting. Some people say, oh, it's supposed to be, no. Your screen can't pull contrast, so that's why the image looks black so brighter. It's not supposed to be brighter, it's supposed to be a dark kind of contrast to it. Going up forward to the 8. Okay, what's this guy I'm talking about? Oh, Jason Cook. Hey, Jason. Yeah, that's how it was. You can actually drink when you're 18. You can walk into a bar. The minute you turn 18, you can walk into a bar. That's my era. I was born in 1968. So when you turn 18, go get a gun. You can get a gun now at that age. But you could walk into a bar and drink. And literally, you can just walk right into a bar. Show your ID. Boom. Walk right in. And there was no like, they didn't really do the checking like they do with ID now because now everything can be duplicated and stuff like that. You can make all kinds, people made all kinds of fake IDs and walked in the bars all the time. They really never had that technology to check that stuff to begin with. But yep, when you turn 18, you could walk into a bar and get a beer. Can't do that now. You gotta wait till you're 20, I think it's 21 now, right? It's 21, yep. I look at it this way. I mean, I understand, but I don't get that part. It's a bit of a gray area there because even at 21, you can have irresponsibilities even if you're 18. I see people 40 years old and 50 years old and go into bars and do the dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire life. So they're saying that you're not an adult at 18 to go in and drink. Not to make this a topic here, but it's interesting when you think about it. It's like a bit of a gray area where they're saying that you're 18, you can't go into a bar and drink, but you're 18, you can buy a firearm, you can enlist in the military, you can be charged as an adult if you commit a crime when you're 18. But you can't go into a bar and drink. Which I don't know. I mean, it's a gray area. It's like the gray area of the sidewalk. The sidewalk, like if you have a sidewalk in front of your house, that's why I like driveways. The driveways means literally you have to come into my driveway, which means you walk on my property, you're on my property. All right. So sidewalk's a little different. If an officer is standing outside on your sidewalk, it's city property, right? But if somebody slips and falls on your property and breaks their neck, it's your property. It's a gray area. You know, that's the way it is. That's the funny rules of life. You ever get on YouTube and look at weird rules that people have in their counties and states and stuff? It's some pretty interesting stuff to look at. I mean, some real serious, people get hit with some very serious fines for some of the smallest stuff. But that's the rules they go by. Yep, the gray area. But yeah, when I was 18, couldn't wait to turn 18. Going 18, get myself my first glass of beer. Which didn't pan out too well for me because apparently me and beer don't get along too well. Beer doesn't like me. I don't like beer. It doesn't work out too well. So I don't drink, smoke, none of that stuff, period at all. I don't even drink coffee. All I like is tea. That's the only thing I drink in the morning. It's a big cup of tea. Yeah, there's some crazy rules, some really banana rules. The heck? Well, we'll fix that problem. Yeah, some crazy rules. But keep in mind, some of these rules go back to before any of us were actually born. When the first settlers came in, some of those rules are actually still there. That's why. You got some rules out there that are still around since the Prohibition that are still going around. All right, people. So I showed you ambient light projection technology, how it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to function, how you're supposed to be in a fully lit environment and not sitting in the dark. Even if I turn out the lights in this environment, it's still dark in here. There is no way to basically get around it. This environment is very, very, very well lit. That's why I kind of like my environment. I can't stand being in environments that are too dark. But if I were to take out my overhead light, I didn't know I jacked my back up today. Really doesn't make a difference. Aries is, I like my Aries nice and bright. Get this one stuck in my head now. I'm singing this all day today. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get these orders done. Like I said, for the person who wanted to know what the game was, yeah, it's called World War Z. I think, really quick, let me pop in here for a minute. But they have it on sale. They're supposed to be, they have sales all the time. I got it for $10. That's what I paid for. It was $10. Let me turn my lights back on. Like I said, I don't, even if it's like this, I don't like to be in the dark. I like to have all my lights on in my environment. Nice and bright. Let's go over to, oh, the Cold War. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I'm going to be online with that, definitely. Time to break out the old skills. Yeah, it's time to break out the old. I can't wait for that. That's what I love about this technology. Look at it. Come here. Game. I don't have to worry about blacking out my windows. None of that nonsense. I have a few customers that call me up and tell me, well, my area is really dark, so you don't have to worry about it. No, you don't turn your lights on. Let's see what they got here. Oh, PlayStation hits. Yeah, I got to get in here and I got to download some stuff. I got games I haven't even finished yet. I got it. Ooh. Okay. Cyberpunk. I want that game really bad. Assassin's Creed, the new one. I want that one right there. Let's see what this. Find this search on here. Torchlight. I had that back in the day. I had that when Xbox 360 was all the rage. That's actually a pretty good game. War space. Oh, yeah. Here it is right here. So this is the game right here. Let's see what they got. Yeah, now that it's back up to full price. So they want $29 for it. Still ain't bad. It's a really good freaking game. I'm talking about a really freaking good game. That's a GOTY edition. I ain't get that one right there. That's the DLC. I got to buy that for me and a friend. My driver, she's a hardcore gamer. Me and her play this faithfully, and she freaking loves the game. She contacts me and was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's jump on the games. Let's kill some zombies. She's addicted to zombie games now. So I'm going to be downloading this right here, the World War Z other pack. This is the DLC. I'm going to be downloading that. But yeah, you get this game is freaking amazing. I'll do some gameplay later on the day once I get all my orders and everything taken care of. Everybody's got their tracking numbers. They're all happy and giddy like a schoolgirl with a new dress. And that's a whole lot of giddy. But anyway, yeah, I'll jump on here and do a couple games on here. And maybe I'll let you guys jump in on one of our live demonstrations, because not live demo, I'll do a live demonstration of me and her gaming, because she's pretty cool. When she first started off, You ever play with somebody who's never did a shooter game in their entire life, and they got to get used to the controllers because one is actually to look around and the other one is to go back and forth to move around with, and they're just not getting used to the controller, and you got to kind of coach them through the entire thing, and they don't know the map that well, and they'll get lost out in the distance, and you got to risk your neck to go out and save them and bring them back, end up getting murdered yourself. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was some days, boy, some frustrating days. But she doesn't know how to use any form of shooter games, and she kept running with her gun straight down to the ground. Like, why is your gun pointed at the ground? It's supposed to be upward. And she's like, I can't control the controller, and I don't know how do you move sideways, and you gotta get used to it. So now that she's played this game, she's used to shooters. So I'm gonna be downloading a lot of shooter games. She never played Call of Duty, none of them at all. Period. So we're gonna start off with the old ones first, and then build our way up from there. So she's interested in shooters now. And I definitely gotta get her into freaking Borderlands. I think Borderlands is freaking epic. I gotta get into that. All right, so let me get out of here before I get off topic. I start going back in the game and all that stuff like that. The Dreamcast, later on I'll have that up because I already got it hooked up. I just gotta buy another Dreamcast because that one is not working at all, period. I got the controller to work, but the console is not reading any of the discs. So I know it's broken. I wanted to play, this is the game I actually want to start playing first. Ugh, my Dreamcast. Yeah, I can tell my back is killing me. One of them days. This is the game we're going to play first. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Marvel's versus Capcom. See how clean my disc are? I take care of my disc. I ain't let my disc up to anybody. Nobody. How about that game when it first came out? These are games. These are games I bought when they first came out with Dreamcast, man. I had the Japanese version that came with the red box. Remember the Japanese version of the Dreamcast that had a red box and had the white spiral in the middle of it? Then they had the American version that had the white box and had the red spiral in the middle of it. All right, with that being said, I'm getting out of here. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Got to get to these orders real quick. Get everybody taken care of. Thank you all for your time. I have to go, and God bless.